What's good, y'all? It's Drew from 5th Place. This is my interview with Rami Hadawi, shot by Hadawi. Let's go! Where I was from, I'm a military brat, so I grew up all over. Grew up a little bit in Germany, but I moved to the States 03. Came up from North Carolina, moved to New York 04. Been in Albany since. Being that I moved around a lot, I saw a lot at a young age. And when my parents split, when my mom and dad no longer, kicked us out, moved out to, I guess they had a little spot out in Fayetteville, North Carolina. We moved to North Carolina 03. That was our brokest time. My mom didn't have no job, no nothing. And I remember helping my mom find a job on the internet. And then we found some shit in Albany, New York. She rented a U-Haul, threw the things in the truck, whipped it over here. Been in Albany, and shit, we've been broke since 03, and I've just been trying to come up. Me and my mom, we got our trials and tribulations, but single mom life, it was, I was not trying to hear nothing from her. And having no dad too, and just my mom trying to hold it down, she was not holding it down, because I wasn't trying to listen to nothing my mom had to say, so I really looked up to my old homies and my OGs when I went out and about, but we was just broke coming up. Me and my mom, like, my mom Hispanic, I'm Hispanic, and we was just trying to make things work in our area. Once my parents split, and once it was me and my mom, I really got to see kind of who my mom was, and the struggle really got to her too, because we was used to living with my pops, and we was under the military thing, and we was taking flights left and right, and once we was no longer under that, we was broke. And my mom is used to living a certain way, and she was really always been hustling and struggling to get back to that level. But there's been some trials and tribulations, because my mom she got addicted to certain things, and like, I didn't even really realize till I was older, till I had my son, is when I really realized that my mom's been finessing me for almost over a decade. So like, I seen my mom struggle all the time, being a Hispanic woman. We lived in a suburban spot, because my mom wanted to put me in a good school and in a good area, and it actually did the opposite. We was the outcast of the area, and others can agree with that. I know a lot of others that were outcast in that realm too, and it was just different over there. So we're struggling over there financially and mentally over there, and then it's just been financially ever since. And my mom's good now. She, recovered, all that, but my upbringing was a lot different from a lot of other people. Like, it was me and my mom, and my mom worked all the time, so I left to go to school by myself. I came back home. I was home by myself. I had to cook my food, eat dinner, eat breakfast, all dolo. I see my mom every now and then, but that's why I'm so independent right now, is because I grew up dolo. Like, I remember it was just me and my mom, but it really was just me. So the reason why I got into clothes, I've always been into fashion. Remember, I moved around a lot, so whenever I moved to the next state or country or something, I'd always came with a whole different style. And my style was always different from the next, because I came from typically a whole nother country. So my style never fit into wherever I lived. So over time, I developed my own style of taking in the different spots that I went to, and taking things that I liked and what inspired me. And we didn't have that much money, so we were artists in our own way. And I remember we wanted to be fly, and we wanted to have all the nice shit, but we couldn't afford it. So we started just printing our own stuff. I saved up enough money to just literally start printing. I never have not outsourced my brain since the first day. I never even went online and ordered a sample. Like, my first sample was something that we printed in my mom's in his mom's basement. And the thing about it was always coming up, I didn't have a lot, and my fits weren't crazy, but I would always take everybody's bitch. And like, I would always have the stories and I would always have experiences, but my fits were never like mad money fits. But I realized that the real players in the game don't really got the crazy fits. They got the life experiences. And that's what Fifth Place is about. It's not really about what you rocking and shit. It's about what you know in this life and the knowledge and what you really been through. And that's what it's about. So the process of making clothes, how I go through the process is typically I really just honestly live life and I get inspired by the things that happen in my life and certain situations. Maybe it be a theme, or maybe it just be honestly just one situation that can play into a theme. But live through life and think of some designs, think of some inspo, and then I work on colors and work on design, and then I get into the print process. But one thing that I got for all the creatives coming up and first starting is that, because I remember when I was first starting, nobody was fucking with it, you know? And you just gotta believe in yourself, and you gotta be confident enough in yourself and your brand enough when nobody else is fucking with it. You still got confidence enough to keep going. Like, you know it's gas, you know it's good, you just gotta keep going. And that's the best advice that I could give, because so many people doubted me, and to this day people still doubt me, and I'm gonna keep going. But I know I'm doing something good, and I know the team that we're building, we're gonna do great things. So just make sure that you be confident in whatever room that you're in, and make sure that that you're able to say no in a room full of yes. It's very important. It's very important to stick to your own path and stick to what you believe in. A lot of people don't really give the cliches limelight, like be yourself and those classic moves that nobody does no more. And I keep it classy, but I keep it street classy though. Well, I was a reckless ass kid. Remember, like I said before, came up here with a single mom. She wasn't holding me down, and it just was. Now that I'm older, I realize how crazy I was when I was younger, because I wouldn't do half the shit that I did when I was younger. But one thing that really kept me in the streets was skateboarding. Back in the day when I first started skateboarding, there was not many minorities that skated, and you was like a white boy if you skated, and I really got a lot of hate for skateboarding back in the day. And now skateboarding is lit. Everybody was skateboarding. So it's a whole different world now, and I remember when you would really catch flack for skateboarding. But it's funny how skateboarding is so in the streets though. Like, I came up off skateboarding, and like the amount of people and the connections that I made just off skateboarding is ridiculous. Like, I owe a lot to it, because I used to travel at a young age. There would be reasons for us to go to the city at 15, 16. There'd be reasons for us to catch flights to go to another state, just to go skate and link up with other people. So like, I wasn't your ordinary teenager. Like, I wouldn't go to the house parties and shit. I went to those occasionally, but I'd really be out of town, or I would always be hanging out with older people, and that was just more my crowd. And coming up in that area that my mom thought it was good, like, ended up getting into some shit, ended up getting locked up for a little bit, and it was just a dumbass thing that happened when I was young. And then, listen, my brain is Fifth Place. I'm never perfect, you know, and at some points I was crazy, and I came up boosting, did the scammer shit, you know, all that. So I've been through that life, and you know, I'm boost free now, and you know, I'm trying to be, you know, a better person and trying to do good things. And that's what Fifth Place is. Like, I did bad things in the past. I understand why people do bad things. I get it, and I've been there, and I've done that, and I'm just trying to be somebody that puts on for those people that have been through some shit. Because you get labeled as like a bad person for going through some shit, but when your back is against the wall sometimes and you live a different life, certain things, you get dealt with a crazy hand, and like people may look at you crazy, but Drew, 5th place, I understand the struggle, I understand the come up, so that's what my brand's all about. Fatherhood. Remember, I'm independent. So I've been independent for a dumb long time. So I'm the type that I could have had a kid probably at 8 years old and I would have taken care of the kid. Like, been very by myself. I've handled my business since the jump. So being a father was never really a hard thing for me. I had my son now that I'm older at a young age. I had my son when I was 21. And my son came up with me. Like, I never did anything without him, and like me and his mom split when he was around 3, and I've just been doing me, and me and her are cool. We keep it cordial, and that's that, like I got my baby mama issue here and there, that's how it be with everybody, but I got love for her, and just trying to do what's right for my son and just keep it moving, My son knows what I'm doing for him and for a lot of other people, and being a father is a great thing. It keeps me grounded. My son knows that, like, he's my anchor. Like, without him, I would be reckless, like, without a doubt. My son keeps me level-headed. So he helps me stay on task. He's like my little business partner. So I fuck with it, because without him, I really probably will be still reckless. So shout out to you, Avi. Love you, my boy. You already know. 5 and 8, like I said, I only fuck with the people that I fuck with in my circle, and that's that. I'm a type of person where I don't really kick it here that much. If I do, it's with my team and my people, but I really be out and I make moves. So the 518 to me is just a headquarters spot, and it's always been a headquarters spot. It's always been a cheap spot for me to rest my head and make moves. Albany's, if you actually make moves, you know that it's actually a good spot to network and go around and do what you have to do, and this be an affordable spot to be the headquarters, and you can really go out and travel the world and have a good affordable spot in a decent city. Industry, dream, collabs, and inspirations. I came up really liking Acapulco Gold, Mighty Healthy, Extra Large, A-Life, 10 Deep. Those are my inspos. I really like underground brands that really cater to the street culture, as in skateboarding, graffiti, hip hop, the underground shit, the only if you know type shit, the behind the scenes brands. Those are the brands that I fuck with, and A-Life has been, I think out of the A-Life and 10 Deep, out of the ones that I listed, are the ones that are still around. And yeah, A-Life would be a crazy collab. I would love to do a collab with A-Life and A6. A6 is on my goal list, where I want to do a sneaker collab with A6. People think because I own or run a clothing brand that I'm into fashion. I'm not into fashion like that. I used to be into it when I was younger. I was fifth place is always ahead of the curve. I'm ahead of the time at all times, all my whole life. Because remember, I moved here. I've seen other spots and other perspectives. I talk to other people. I see other sides of life. So at a young age, I was honestly wearing what people are wearing now, the Supreme, the Dunks, all that. I was been on that. So I would be dressing like a middle school me if I dressed like how everybody dresses right now. I've been on that. Like, that shit is old to me. Like, I was around, I'm 31, so I came up when Dunks first came up, when they were skateboarding shoes, and you could only get them at skate shops. And a lot of the fashion brands that are out right now are all kind of skate vibe-ish or whatever, and I did all that. So fashion to me, on the streetwear level, I don't really see myself in the same path. I'm not really into that. I like real clean cut, minimal wear. I'm at that age now where I just like not too flashy, clean cut type shit. and that's what my brand's about. And the high fashion, the Louis and all that, I'm in the printmaking world, so I know how much it is for garments and pieces. So for me to spend money on high fashion is, I don't really know much. I don't know many screen printers that buy high fashion because we know the pricing of the garment world. We know that shit. So we don't play into that because we are the players, and like we run the shots. We're not a player in that game. Like we're above that game. So 2022 goals is crazy. This this studio shop, whatever I'm gonna call it, whatever I'm gonna do with it, I'm in the midst of building this up, and I got a lot of plans of meeting and shaking hands with a lot of people that are gonna level up my brand and business. So stay tuned for that. But one of the biggest goals for this year is to build up this headquarters. It's to build up the studio and really get it to the level of where I can open up the doors and people can rent it, people can use it, and it's going at full force. Think about, no, I don't manifest things, I make moves. So if it's something that I want to do, I don't really try not to speak on it, and I just fucking do it. Like, I don't, like, maybe I tell my shorty or something, but like that's really my only, like, one person, maybe my son or something, but like I got ideas, and I feel like because I've told my ideas out and they don't work, and then I'm like, fuck. And so I've just learned to keep my shit to myself and just work on it. And if I got something that I'm gonna execute, I'm gonna execute it, and I'm gonna do my best to execute it. Like I really work. I really don't play no games. So like, if it's something that I have my mind on it and I'm gonna do it. See? That's what Fit Plays is all about, because it's actually a play on words. The same mentality of everybody being successful right out the womb. Like I've been like, either my ego is so high, or like I really think I'm in a whole nother realm that anything I do is lit. So like success, I'm always successing, because like I fail, I'm always down to fail. And like success to me is the people that can say no in a room full of yes. Like success to me is being yourself. Success to me is being able to walk around and be comfortable in your own body, skin, whatever you say. That to me is success. No money, no materials, no nothing, because I've met people that have had more money than me and have way more nicer cars, houses, more bitches, flyer clothes, everything. But they don't have my mentality, and they hit me up for advice, and they want to live my life. Like, there's more to life than the money, I promise, and that's what Fit Place is all about. Because, I swear, it's all a mindset thing. People be trying to run away from their problems, but you can go anywhere and your problems are going to follow you. This is home. That your head is your home, your brain is your home. So, like, it's important to keep that good, that no matter wherever you go, you're good, because this is home right here. So like, yeah, that's the key to success, is just make sure that mental is good, and then all the bag's gonna come, and then be confident in who you are, and just keep pushing. But success is not money. Success is a great mental, for sure. All right, y'all, that was the end of my interview. Shot by Hadawi. Make sure y'all tune in at Fifth Place. I got big things coming soon, so make sure y'all tune in with the movement. Peace.